Hello everybody, Jay here, and in this Movie Grades episode, we are bringing you Logan, and I'm here with
Tony Beerside.
And this movie is the last movie that has Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart, at least in the X-Men franchise. And this movie was really well done. If you want to explain the plot real quickly to the audience.
The plot is, well, it's kind of a complicated plot. It takes place in the future, and some people say it's an alternate timeline. There was a virus that killed off a lot of the mutants, suppressed their abilities, and no more mutants are being born. Like, it's been, I forget, like they said, 20 years since a mutant's been born. So Wolverine, since his powers are suppressed, he's not healing like he used to. His body is like rejecting the adamantium. That's what I heard somewhere. And
yeah.
Professor X is really old. I think they said he was 90. He's having these seizures. Yeah, what Jay said. He's having these, and it's causing, he has the ability to control people with his mind. So he's losing control of that power. So anyone around him is affected by it. So Wolverine has this idea. He's like, all I want to do is buy a boat and take the professor out, and we'll live away from people, so they're not affected by this, and we'll just live out our days on the boat. But it turns out that this woman comes to him and tells him that she wants him to take her daughter, which we find out it's not really her daughter, but anyway, and take her to this place called Eden, and then she'll meet up with other mutants.
It's in Canada.
Yeah,
which is weird, because with Alpha Flight.
Oh yeah. Wolverine was from Canada, but somehow going to Canada was somehow save him. I'll get back to that. That's the part I didn't quite understand. That's the basic plot of the movie. They're trying to get from point A to point B, basically.
So we find out that Logan, that's his biological daughter, because
it's kind of a clone. That's more of a.
No, it was his daughter.
No, he didn't have sex with
somebody.
With a woman.
Okay, so
it was just a clone.
It was a clone, but
still kind of his daughter.
What's
his DNA?
What's his DNA? So they're on their way, and then there's this team of, I guess they're enhanced. Here we go. Enhanced beings. Team was, I guess, created. I don't want to say Dr. Rice. Did Dr. Rice create this team, or did he just like Dr. Rice? He's the one. He's the one who poisoned the mutants.
He probably
He has something. I'm sure he has involvement with this team of enhanced beings, because they have like cybernetic parts. They're cybernetically or augmented again. So they're after her because they want to kill her, probably. I think they wanted to take her back and use her as a weapon again in the program. Yeah, probably, which we'll get to in a little bit. So there's this family that has a horse trailer, and then for some reason the trailer gets knocked off the side of the road. Professor Xavier's telling him oh, we got to help them out.
And Wolverine, as always, is the reluctant hero. Is like, I guess, let's do this. Professor X practically guilts him into doing it.
So the family lets him stay for the night. I know he's reluctant. He's like, oh yeah, do we really want to stay the night? But Charles is like, let's do it. And then there's another scene where they're at dinner, with the family, and then he's reluctant again. He's like saying, let's leave now. And he says, no, Professor, let's just stay here. And
I just want to say that, there's a point where they were in Nevada where Professor X and X-23 is in the room, and they're watching the movie Shane. Have you ever seen it?
It's an old Western.
Yeah, have you seen it?
I've never seen the movie, but
I've seen Shane, and this is kind of their Shane moment in Wolverine, because if Shane, I haven't seen it in a long time, if I remember correctly, it's some guy who's an outlaw, and he has to stay with his family, and he helps the family out to do what they have to do. And so that's what this scene where Wolverine helps out the ranchers and stuff is like. Is he Wolverine knows that he's attracts trouble, and he doesn't want to get these people in trouble, but he still wants to help them out as well, you know. So that was their kind of homage to Shane.
But then the pivotal point of the movie. So Professor Xavier, as we said, had these seizures, and one time he had a seizure in Winchester, and he couldn't remember it, and until this point he remembers it, and he's talking to as we think he's talking to Logan, Logan, and this just threw me for a curveball. Even after this, we'll say Logan like takes his claws and stabs him, in the chest. You were like still like thinking like this is like a WTF moment. I was like, okay, what's going on here? Why is Logan? Is it like something like happened to him? Did one of these seizures like set him up? But then it cuts to another scene because you see this character in the shadow, like you see his face, but it's like the lighting is very well done that you can't really distinguish that it's actually a new character. And this is the greatest part. This is X-24, and this was something that they did not reveal in the trailers, and I'm glad they did not.
Oh yeah.
And that scene was like, yeah, what's going on here? But then you see X-23, she's waking up, because he says, like, let her sleep, like Professor says, let her sleep for another hour. And then she attacks him, and then they have this fight. And then Logan like is back at the house. Well, first of all, I think he kills the wife, the farmer's wife,
and the little boy too,
and her
teenage boy
and their son. He stabs the husband, and you're like thinking he thought he was dead, like he thought he was dead, but apparently later on he gets in the truck, and after Logan and this X-24 have their battle. Killing everybody, just destroying everything, because Logan's like killing the other people too.
Or Reavers, I believe they're called.
Oh, Reavers. Okay, Reavers. Okay, maybe that's what they're called. But yeah, then the guy gets in the truck. First of all, he shoots him. I think he shoots him, but then he like runs out of ammo or something. I don't know. I remember like
he runs down X-23.
X-24.
X-24.
With the truck.
With the truck, and he comes out and he sees Wolverine, and he's scared. His crapped his pants, scared of Wolverine.
And then he died. Then he
so he's thinking Wolverine's just as bad as these other guys, so he tries to kill Wolverine with the gun.
But he's out of ammo.
Right.
And then he keels over.
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. First of all, when those things kept going like we should move out now, we should move out now, we should move out now. I was gonna say. I thought to myself, something bad is going to happen to this family. They're gonna die.
Yeah.
Either by some outside force, which was an outside force we should know about.
Yeah.
And then after that, they get the professor and they bury him because he's dying, and then he dies, and then they bury him in a very nice, serene area with a lake and everything. So it was beautiful, but it was sad. We get to the point where she finally says something. She talks. I thought she was a mutant. Maybe she was a mutant. I don't know. Another joke. But yeah, she talks. She's talking about Eden, and she's talking in Spanish. That was another thing that kind of irked me too. Like, she can understand English because every time that the professor's talking to her, like, I understand the professor knowing because he can read minds. Maybe Wolverine just picks it up because the
professor spoke a little Spanish to her.
True. But yeah, she finally starts talking, and then she talks in English, which really is like, okay, if you could talk English this whole time, why wait till now? But
that's one of my biggest pet peeves of the movie too. It didn't make any sense to me. But
eventually, they get to the place where the other kids are, the other mutants, the other young mutants are, which might be that's going to evolve into X Factor, X Force, or something. That was my other thought too.
Yeah. They had some X Force members there.
So they had
Richter was one of them.
Richter was the one who gave him the potion, or the vial.
Potion.
Not potion.
And we're in the Lord of the Rings movie now. A potion, but go ahead.
Or Harry Potter. More like Harry Potter actually. But the vial of venom that he took, and it healed. What's crazy is it not just made him like stronger. It healed all his wounds. His claws can come out easily now, like, because at the beginning he had to pull one of his claws out. And, he's just rampaging, fighting.
The thing is, though, it was the professor. What was it? Not professor, but the doctor.
Dr. Rice.
Rice. He told him. He basically said that since he took all of it at once, it drains faster.
Yeah.
Than
well,
if you just lose
remember
a little bit.
the kid actually said don't take this all at once.
Yeah.
It wasn't it wasn't the Dr. Rice. It was actually the kid. He said don't. He even said on the note, it said don't take this all in one fell swoop.
Yeah.
But maybe he felt he needed to.
Yeah.
He needed that adrenaline rush.
Right.
Which is actually very reminiscent to how Wolverine is. Actually, a lot of times Wolverine will get an adrenaline rush and just start kicking the crap out of everybody.
Berserker range.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much. So basically, the kids are trapped and they get free, and then they start fighting against X-24. And what's actually really odd is none of the kids were killed. That's really funny. You would think they're chasing the one little kid, the fat African American kid.
Yeah. What was his powers anyway? I didn't understand that.
Oh, I can't. I don't know.
One had freeze breath.
Oh, he had electricity. He could control electricity.
I like that. Had controlled plants.
Well, telekinesis or plant kinesis. But yeah, eventually they get like the one kid has like psychic abilities, and he takes that tank. A few of them actually had psychic abilities, and a lot of them were standing over the one guy, the leader of the Reavers, and like the grass was around him, and they were like they killed him, and then they took out the rest of them, and then the one kid who had psychic abilities like dropped this tank on top of X-24, but it wasn't enough. And then the next thing you see, X-23 take the gun and shoot him. But this is after like Logan gets like dropped by that tree or whatever.
And yeah, it's an adamantium bullet.
Yeah, it's an adamantium bullet, which is something they've talked about through the whole series. Like he was going to shoot himself with it because he just couldn't live this life. That's why he said at the beginning with the whole moving to an island where they could just live out the rest of their days, so he didn't have to do that. But she takes the bullet, shoots X-24, he's dead, and then she's standing over Logan. He like you see the tree around him, but his body's like regenerating, but even was regenerating around the wound, but he's like
it's not enough.
He's like, so this is how death feels. It was like one of those emotional moments that she's standing over saying, "Daddy," but it was really emotional because, like, it's like he's like, "It's okay, I want to die." So, that's pretty much it. But anything else you want to add?
Yeah, we have very different opinions on the movie. He liked it, I didn't. The major things for me was that it's a very downer of a movie. And, the movies that I like are the movies I like to watch over and over again. And this, I wouldn't want to watch this movie again because it's so dour. And I thought this was a weak way for Professor X and Logan to go out. I thought, I want to see him go out in a blaze of glory, not a...
That's how I felt. Professor Xavier, I will say that I didn't really like his death very much. I mean, it was a surprise of how it happened, but... I feel like I didn't really like how they executed his death. I wish they could have done something, but I guess that's how they.
I want to see if Wolverine dies. I want to see him die in an epic battle of some kind. And this really wasn't.
I felt the battle was epic.
Like Professor X, he's like a sad old weak man, and you don't want to see anybody like that.
I wish if Professor Xavier was going to die, I just wish he died like naturally. That would have been better. Just a normal natural death. But I understand why they had to do this because they wanted to make it.
And he was suffering though, so it was his time to pretty much. It was his time to go. But it was just sad to see him go like that. And I just felt, and I didn't like X-23. I thought she was a terrible character in this movie. I thought she was a brat.
I liked her.
She like you said, she was mute for no reason. She kept stealing stuff all the time, and she was killing everybody. She just wasn't a likable character, in my opinion.
I'm glad they put her in the movie, though. I had to, who else would you have put?
I don't know. It just wasn't the story for me, and like I was saying earlier, I didn't understand why. Okay, they thought if they went to Canada that would somehow save them. Like the Reavers Reavers, right? Yeah. Like the Reavers aren't just going to chase them into Canada. That didn't make any sense to me. It was like a magic line that they were going to be safe in Canada.
Yeah, they didn't even show. That's the other thing that kind of upset me too. They didn't really show that either. They didn't even show like Eden either.
Yeah.
So it's like
I thought that like base or that like where they I thought that was Eden.
That wasn't Eden.
Maybe I was wrong. And they explained that they knew about Eden because of the comic book. I'm like, how would these comic book writers know about this? Like they have psychic mutant powers themselves. That didn't make sense. Yeah,
why are the X-Men comics in this? That's kind of weird.
And the fact that he said this in a trailer, and I said that in my trailer review, that I felt that kind of was insulting, that he says, oh, the comics, that's not the real thing, this is the real thing here. And it just felt like it was disrespectful of the source material, in my opinion. So that put me off of it, I'm sorry, I didn't like this movie. I didn't. Is there anything you didn't? You said something about the subtitles. You didn't like that.
Oh yeah, subtitles. I don't understand why you would. I understand sometimes when there's no subtitles, but they're translating to another person, But I mean, they spoke a bunch of Spanish in this movie that should have been subtitled. I don't care if you can understand what's going on in the context. I understand it was a radar movie, and most kids are probably not going to see it. But still, you should even with the context, you should still put that in the movie because it's important.
Yeah.
What about the action, CGI?
We'll use those. I'll give this movie some credit. That the CGI was pretty good. The action was decent. I thought the acting was fantastic. I thought Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman and even the girl Laura, who I don't know the actress's name, I thought they were all fantastic. They couldn't have been any better. I mean, I think especially Patrick Stewart really playing like a man that's losing his humanity. He's kind of like
losing his mind.
He's losing his mind. It's true. I mean, and he's like a frail old man that if you ever see a old man go through dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that, this is and that's what made it so sad. And I don't want to see my heroes like that. Like I said, I want to see them go out in a blaze of glory, not just die off of become weak and stuff like that. Like I said with our Rogue One review, in that movie too, everyone dies. And this one, almost everyone dies in this movie.
But the two major characters die. But you've grown to love them over the years. But
that's the thing is I don't know, for some reason I just didn't care.
Even though it's
about them that much in this movie. In the previous movies, but this one, I don't. Something about it just didn't make me. It didn't make me care about them. I mean, well, maybe it's just X-23. I didn't care about her at all. I cared more about Professor X and Wolverine, but it's like I don't know. There's just something about this movie that didn't sit right with me. Maybe I have a bias when I went in there when I said, because in the trailer it felt like they were insulting the fans and the source material. I never go on the movie wanting to hate it. I always try to like it, and I just didn't like it.
So what do you give this movie?
Well, like I said, I didn't like it. There's things I did like about it. I think with the two of us are like the two different personalities. I think you're more optimistic and I'm kind of more pessimistic.
I'm more open-minded. Yeah.
With my views of the film. So I'm gonna have to give this a D. Wow. And it's not quite enough, but I'm giving this a D.
Well, you're not even a D minus either.
No, it's not even a D minus. Like I said, Patrick Stewart and Hugh Jackman's acting and the girl's acting brought it up. But it couldn't save it for me.
Oh, that's really harsh. Sorry. I'm not even going to go that low. I'm not even going to even be in the C's. I'll probably be marking the B's. I'm going to give this movie, I mean, like I said, I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to give this one a B+. Like I said, I thought it was very well done, and I enjoyed it very much. It's not as good as some of the other X-Men movies, but this is what, in my opinion, X-Men Apocalypse should have been like, or should have been done.
Well, I'll disagree with that. You know, I liked X-Men Apocalypse. It's one of my top 5 movies of last year, so you can see our taste difference in that way.
But I mean, like I said, I enjoyed Logan, and I love the action. I love the twist at the pivotal point.
It was a good twist. I'll give it that.
Yeah,
I'll say that when I saw that, I thought, like I told you earlier, I thought that was Sabretooth come back for some reason.
Yeah,
because he had the shorter hair, like Lev Schreiber did in X-Men Origins Wolverine. So
yeah, I mean that's about it. B+, and this is Jay with
Tony Beers,
and we'll see you next time.
This video is sponsored by the Crazy Kings of Toys. Check them out for all your toy needs and find out why they are so crazy. Find them on eBay, Bricklink, and Facebook. Links are in the description. For more Toxic Pop, visit our website at toxicpop1.wixsite.com/toxicpop. Email us at toxicpop1@gmail.com and check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/toxicpop1 and Instagram at instagram.com/wearetoxicpop. Links are in the description.